Hey everybody, welcome back. Icon here. Thanks for checking out another episode of Esports Analysis. Today we're hopping on board with Formal as he and Chicago take on Karma, Octane, and the rest of the gang from the Seattle Surge. In this one, I'm a little bit interested to see how this one goes. They just got done with a scrim about an hour ago with Minnesota that didn't go their way, so more often than not, they ended up losing maps to Minnesota. So this is about an hour later. I'm interested to see how they bounce back, how they play after losing to a team that they're probably a little bit better than. I can't wait for those scrims to start. I can't wait for the Minnesota LAN to start just to see how everything shakes out. There are no more secrets and everybody's got to play on LAN. But with that, as we hop into this one, you can see that right now Chicago has control of the hill. I don't expect that to last very long. They just went 3 down in hill, but they are holding down this back spawn. So in this map, the second hill is back behind them over here. So for this, it doesn't really necessarily matter too much how much time they're getting in hill, but you just want to hold down spawns for when it rotates here. So even though they're going down pretty much every time they go into warehouse spawn here, it's not going to matter too much just because they're holding down this back spawn. They are watching the right flank. So right now, actually, this is a little bit of an interesting play here. So they did end up spawning out. So they're no longer spawning out on the back left. They got pushed out of warehouse. They're spawning in the back right. So in best case scenario, you do want to be spawning on the back left and then holding down that right flank. So that's why you see them pushing this left side so hard. This left side is a lot easier to get through if you are coming from warehouse than it is to come from green. When you're coming from green on the other side, there's only one little choke point you can get through over there. So that's why you saw them push back to this side where Formal just spawned right here. So if you get control of the left side of the map here, then force them through the choke point over by green, which is where Formal spawned right now. But at this point in time, there's only 20 seconds left, so you can see that they're trying to flip already. Gunless is behind them. Envoy's behind them. They both went down, so looks like they're battling a little bit of adversity trying to flip these spawns. Looked like Formal got a kill there, and then he went down, so well, these are decent spawns. So as it rotates to the third hill, which is right in the middle of the map, you want to get this opposite spawn because, again, the third and the fourth hill are usually kind of contested time. There's not in most cases. So now, I don't want to say in all the time, but in most cases, teams aren't going to max out the time in the third and the fourth hill. Where you're going to max out time is in the second and the fifth hill, which is why you see them push so hard back to this back spawn. So somebody's up. It looks like Gunless is up in yellow. He's just holding down those yellow spawns, and he's trying to kill anybody that's entering that hard point up there while Chicago continues to spawn back here in this fifth hard point. So in the best case scenario, you don't want to give up all this time. So it looks like right now they have somebody in hill. So now you can see that Dylan and Formal are going to try to push up a little bit so that as it rotates to the fourth hill, which is in bottom green, they can also contest that time and maybe try to go even on that fourth hill. So looks like in the third hill, they went even. And then as this rotates in 4 seconds to the fourth hill, they're going to try to do the same thing and hold down these back spawns. In the bottom left-hand corner, you can see that there's a 90-40 lead. So decent start so far. They didn't necessarily win the first hill. They didn't win the third hill, but they did win the second hill, and they were able to hold down those spawns. So for this one, even though they're not getting, so they've given up about 15 points here, the first 15 points of this fourth hill, it's not going to hurt them too much. Just as long as somebody can get into contest while holding down this left lane and holding down the right lane. So if you're the other team, so if you're Seattle right now, what you're trying to do is you're trying to push out. So, of course, you do want to get time in hill, but most importantly, you're trying to push out and push one of those flanks, left side of the map or right side of the map. Most of the time, I think the easiest thing to do right here is probably hit that mid-hop up to heaven. So back behind Formal, over to the right now. If you hop on top of that wall and then jump up to heaven, that's probably the easiest way to break this. Even if you do get up top, you're probably not going to break it just because spawns are the spawn logic in this game is so strong back towards that left and right side. But that is a way that you can get in and cause a little bit of disruption. If you're trying to get into that next hard point, so right now this dock building hard point, which is in fifth. So if you're trying to get into fifth and you're trying to push the left or the right side, then that can be really difficult to do. However, if you look right now on the mini map, Chicago is spawning out. So I was trying to figure out what was going on in the hill, so I didn't exactly see who ended up giving it up, but this is what you want to try to avoid. So let's see if they can push this and overtake these last 25 seconds. But I think it was the right side of the map. I think the right side, usually Gunless was holding that down. I think Gunless might have went down. They were able to push through over there, and then now they are spawning out. However, they still have somebody inside. So Chicago has control of Hill, but Karma went and got a kill on the rotations there. So it looks like as we go back to the first hard point, not only is Seattle going to be in control of the warehouse, but they're also going to have spawns on that side of the map. So here, as we start the second set of rotation, Chicago's going to have to try to push through again. So with that, let's go ahead. I'm very interested to see what they're talking about. So with that, I'm going to turn up the volume. I'm going to let you guys listen in. Let's see what they're talking about in terms of communication and strategy as we enter this second set of rotations.
Yo, pinch up, top out. And door, one shot, Apatino.
And one got me cat. I'm going green with you guys.
I got through green.
Nice job.
I'm top second right now.
I'm helping.
We gotta go through mid, guys.
Yo, he's top right.
Under the hill. Apathy's under the hill, one shot.
Damn, got me close, nice.
I got two.
Nice, three. One still playing back there,
Get
time. I get time.
So this is interesting. It looks like there's a big battle in the back there for spawns, but it's been a struggle so far. So for the first 45 seconds of this hill or so, they weren't able to flip spawns and they weren't able to get control of hill, and they're still not able to get spawns. So this is where the game could turn a little bit. I have no idea what's going to happen, but if there was an opportunity for this to flip, right now Chicago's got a 70-point lead and they're spawning out. So this could very easily be a 10-point lead going back into the third hill.
Low right hill.
Back right. Got the guy back right.
More hill.
Yeah, they're all worried about me left, bro. I left it.
8 on. Your size one shot. One fire car.
Don't go left. That's one fire.
I'm right.
So decent push there for the first 20 seconds, but good job out of Seattle countering that. So Chicago was almost able to get into hill. They were able to get 2 or 3 kills, but at the end of the day, they weren't able to go ahead and slay out that back left side. So for the last 20 seconds or so, it's still contested. So if you're Seattle, that's a big kill right there. So Formal was the first one trying to go on rotations for the third and the fourth hardpoint, exactly what we talked about the last time through, and he went down in top L. So as this goes to the third and fourth hardpoint, it's going to start off with Seattle controlling the spawns that you want to have, the most beneficial spawns. But it'll be interesting to see if somebody can flip. So as Formal's going top L there, he is able to get the person that killed him last time. So the good thing if you're Chicago is that there's nobody in hill. So you don't have spawns, but there's nobody in hill. So you're not exactly losing time. So if it's 180 to 143, you do want to try to flip these spawns just because as it gets to that fifth hill, eventually once it gets there, they could easily make up those 40 points in just that one hill alone. Let's listen in again.
Green up, peeking.
I spawned first.
Pushing out.
Top
L apathy.
Man, it's a struggle.
Bottom L.
All right, so spawns flipped. When Formal came back up, he's now in the beneficial spawn. So I'm not sure who got. It looks like Gunless got 1, Seth got 2 in the kill feed. 4 just went dead for Seattle, and they are spawning out. So all right, so that was a pretty clutch kill there from Formal. It does look like as it gets into this fourth hardpoint here, they do have control of the hill. A couple big kills in the middle. So if you're wondering about spawns, right now Seattle's not only spawning out, but they were spawning back on warehouse side of the map. So they didn't have the closest spawn, and they were spawning out. Now it looks like this has been overtaken, but that's not going to hurt them too much. There is 40 seconds left in the current hardpoint, so they are going to try to contest that as much as they possibly can. But even if this game was tied up going into that last hill, then they definitely still have the advantage. So they're just trying to contest this, not give up all 40 of these points. Last thing that you want to do is turtle down and give up all of these points. So good job out of contesting there. They were able to contest about 20 points. Let's go ahead and listen in as this goes towards the back hill, where this could very easily end up being the determining factor in this game here.
Send the middle. I'm gonna get. You have time? I'll get time. I have initial. Guys. I have initial. Motion left.
Top L, one bullet.
I don't like this. I don't like that left is open. There's 2 dead, and everybody is spawning right and looking right. So not a lot of help over here on the left side of the map for Formal. Big kill there. That's a huge 2-piece. So he was over there by himself. He was able to lock down 2. Apathy ended up killing him, but Seth traded that out. So Looks like, oh, so here's a spawn kill right here. They need to smoke this. So whoever's in hill needs to smoke that because you're going to continue to die over and over again. Looks like Octane has killed 3 or 4 just in that spawn kill. So there's the smoke. So that's what you want to do. You want to smoke that out so that those people that are top L, bottom L can't finish that. The score right now, bottom left, is 244. So they need a few more seconds, and there's nobody there to contest. So this game is going to end up going towards Chicago. So first map of this scrim with Seattle. Pretty big win there. Sorry, let me turn this down. First map of this scrim, pretty big win there for Chicago. If for nothing else, I know that they have a ton of maps ahead of them, but if for nothing else, it's really good for their team mental, team composure, all that sort of stuff. They've been in a little bit of a rough spot the last couple of days, so winning this first map could be very big for them. So with that, guys, thank you so much for tuning into another video. If you're new around here, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Minnesota Land, 2 weeks away. I'm going to be putting out probably 15 or 20 videos that weekend alone, so make sure you're here for all of that coverage. Don't forget to leave a like before you head on your way, and with that, thank you so much for checking out another video. I appreciate it, and I'll see you in the next one.